Hi everybody, my name is Mark Brombacher and I'm the producer and the lead role in the film Family Game Night. So first question is, what inspired me to become a filmmaker? Well, my goal was actually not to be a filmmaker. It was acting that always interested me, and if anyone is, anyone out there is an actor or knows anything about acting, it is very, very competitive. You can be a really wonderful actor, but getting roles is tough enough, but getting the right role that really showcases what you think you can do is another thing. Sometimes you get an audition for the absolute perfect role and then you kill the audition, they bring you into the callbacks and they like you, but they go with another guy because he's a better match with the person they cast opposite you, or any number of things. There's so many heartbreaking reasons where you get close to the perfect role and you don't get it. Too much is left up to chance. So I said I wanted to create a really wonderful role to showcase what I feel I could do, make me, just show the strength of myself as an actor, and I'm going to make that as a movie. And that was, I pooled all the money that I could get together. Interesting story. I had a collection of some valuable Magic the Gathering cards, which is a really nerdy card game, and I had these cards for 20 years. And if you know anything about Magic the Gathering, some of these cards are worth a lot of money. So I took the best of my cards. I had a stack of cards about that big, and sold it for $10,000. And my wife had been on my case to sell these cards for a long time, but I didn't want to just sell the cards to take the money so that we could, pay towards car payments, groceries, stuff that we have to pay for anyway, and all of it, something that really mattered to me would then just, go into the pot and it would just sort of vanish. If I was going to sell these cards that I really loved, I wanted to get something that really mattered to me. So I sold these cards to make my first ever movie. So I actually wrote a script myself, and it was called A Wicked Muse. It was a 30-page short film, and it had all these scenes that took place in the woods, and there was a car that drove through the woods and then caught fire. There was this big monster that then caught fire and then stalked everyone through the woods. And I thought I could make this movie for $10,000. So I found a director. I posted online and said, hey, I got this great script and I got a $10,000 budget. Who wants to direct a movie for me? And it became pretty clear that this script that I wrote probably needed a budget of close to $300,000 because of all the crazy effects and stuff that I wrote in there. It was a pretty cool script, but ultimately we decided to go for something a little bit more manageable. And we trimmed down the budget a little bit, actually, and we found a wonderful script from John Arthur Cohen, who the director Nick Verwerda knew in the United States of America. It's a small country to the south of us here in Canada. And we made Family Game Night. So that's how I came upon the script, and we made this story. And in general, like one of the questions in here, what's the hardest part of making the film, is I didn't know anything about filmmaking. The director Nick Verwerda knew a little bit more than me, but he was 20. Like I was a little bit over 40 when we made this. This guy was 20, like basically a teenager. And he'd won some filmmaking awards in high school. And I'll give it to Nick Verwerda. That guy can talk. He's a really charming dude. And he convinced me that he was this wonderful filmmaker. And he was great, but he didn't, he was learning a lot too. So we were sort of thrown into this project together, having to learn as we go. He had a bit more experience than me, definitely. But we put together a good team. We trusted our creative instincts, and we made something. And that's the best advice I could give to filmmakers out there. You are never going to have enough knowledge to make your first film. Like, even if you go to film school, there's just so much that you can't be prepared for. So instead of trying to be prepared and making sure you have all the knowledge you need, my advice to you is just make the film. Make mistakes, and don't be afraid of making something terrible, your first film might be terrible. This was our first film, and it could have been better in some areas, but a lot of it was better than we thought, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing, to a certain degree. We had good actors and good crew, but a lot of stuff was just somehow through that struggle, you'll find magic. I promise that to you. So in the end, we were very happy with that. And one of the things that came out of it, and this is a little bit of self-promotion, is this. I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of see-through. This is the Crystal Shocker Award from Shockstock Horror Film Festival here in Canada, Shockstock 2019. I won the Best Actor Award, and that means a lot to me as an actor. I created this, I made this film to create a role that I thought I could excel in. I really love the blend of horror and comedy, and I love playing this creepy character. And it really meant a lot to me personally. Very, very validating moment to win an acting award. So I'm just going to show this to you. This really means a lot to me. I know it's not an Oscar, and it's the Crystal Shocker Award. And you know, the Crystal Shocker itself is actually kind of a lewd gesture, and I'm not going to tell you what it means, but you can go and Google what a crystal shocker is, or what a shocker is. Actually, not a crystal shocker, but a shocker. Crystal Shocker is the name of the award. But that's basically the story of Family Game Night. See if there's any other questions. No, I think I covered everything. Oh, there's one more question. What's my favorite movie of all time? That would have to be The Shining from Stanley Kubrick. There's a lot of other movies that come close. I could go on and name a bunch of my favorite movies, but I love The Shining. I love Stanley Kubrick. I love all the horror genre. I love the performances of Shelley Duvall and, of course, Jack Nicholson. And I love the theme of a writer slowly going mad in solitude. And that's similar to another project that I've been working on, a little web series that I'm going to be releasing shortly called A Wicked Muse, which is, I took the name of that, of another short that I made a long time ago, but this is... I sort of trimmed it down and changed it and turned it into a web series that is going to be kind of a choose your own adventure style web series in you know, like much like Bandersnatch was on Netflix. And you know, if you follow us, I'm sure you'll be hearing about that. That's probably going to be launching this summer. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see that. Thank you for listening, and talk to you soon.